Red and blue lights spilled across the asphalt, flashing against the windshield of the car I had just pulled over. At first, it seemed routine, a simple traffic stop, just speeding, until I saw who was behind the wheel. My wife. Her hands gripped the steering wheel too tightly, her knuckles white. Beside her sat a man I had never seen before. He didn't move, didn't flinch. He just sat there, smiling, a smile that didn't belong in that moment. "License and registration," I said, voice steady, professional. She opened her purse with trembling fingers. The man turned his head slowly toward me, as if he had been waiting for this exact moment. Then my partner walked up. One look inside the car and everything changed. He reached for his weapon, drew it, and leveled it at the stranger's chest. "Back off," my partner barked. The man only laughed.
Cold.
Controlled. "Unfortunately, you're late." I didn't understand.
Not yet.
But when my wife leaned forward, I saw her back and the bruises. Old, layered, hidden until now. Something inside me went quiet. I should have reacted, should have asked questions, but the silence between us felt heavier than any scream. She never looked at me, not once. Her eyes stayed locked on the dashboard, as though meeting mine would burn her alive. And him. He just sat there, smug, as if the entire night was his design. Later, after the car was impounded, my partner and I stood in the dark parking lot, surrounded by unanswered questions. I replayed every detail. The way she flinched when his hand brushed hers. The way her lips parted, but no sound came out. She hadn't been caught speeding. She had been running, and I was too blind to see it until that moment. The betrayal wasn't ordinary infidelity. It was darker, twisted. She had let him inside her life, and he had left his mark in the place I was supposed to protect. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I went home, sat in the silence of our bedroom, and touched the empty side of the bed she no longer occupied. Then I began pulling at the threads, phone records, credit card statements, late nights unaccounted for, a second phone. Every breadcrumb led back to him. A man with no real name, no stable address, only a history hidden in sealed files, violence, extortion, recruitment. She hadn't fallen in love. She had fallen into a trap. But what gutted me wasn't her weakness. It was her choice. When she realized what he was, she didn't run to me. She didn't trust me. She let him own her. And in that silence, she betrayed me more deeply than her body ever could. 2 weeks later, a file landed on my desk. Inside was everything: photos, depositions, evidence. He wasn't a stranger to manipulation. He turned women into shields, into weapons, into shadows of themselves. And my wife was now one of them. I didn't ask if it was true. I didn't give her the chance to lie. Instead, I placed the file on the kitchen table. Her eyes dropped to the photographs, the signatures, the proof. Her lips trembled. One word escaped, barely audible.
"Please."
That was all. No denial, no explanation. I said nothing. I sat back and watched her collapse under the truth she could no longer hide. The next day, I delivered the file to Internal Affairs. Not against her, but against him. Names, connections, evidence linking him to cases that had been buried in silence. He wasn't just her secret. He was a rot spreading through the system I had sworn to protect. And she knew I had the power to destroy him. When she begged me not to, when her trembling fingers reached for my hand, the same fingers that once touched me with love, I didn't move. I only looked at her, steady and detached. "You chose him," I said. And with those words, I walked away. They arrested him 3 nights later. I didn't go to the trial. I didn't need to. His smirk would be gone by then, replaced by the hollow stare of a man finally stripped of his masks. As for her, she left before dawn one morning. Took only a suitcase. No note, no apology. The bed is cold now, the silence louder than ever. But it's a silence I can live with. Because I've learned something about betrayal. It doesn't scream. It doesn't fight. It waits quietly beside you until the day you finally see the bruises. And once you see them, you can never unsee them again. Sparkles rewritten in smooth, natural language. Not a single scene skipped. Do you want me to also make a polished YouTube-style title and description for this part, like I did earlier? That way it's ready to post. You said, give me suitable and SEO-optimized description. ChatGPT said, got it, white heavy checkmark, I'll craft you a SEO-optimized YouTube description for this story. It will be emotional, keyword-rich, and structured to grab clicks plus improve watch time. Here's a strong version. Description. Police car light. A police officer pulls over a car and discovers his wife behind the wheel, with a mysterious man beside her. What begins as a routine traffic stop turns into a shocking revelation of betrayal, abuse, and hidden secrets. In this gripping cheating story, trust shatters when bruises, lies, and silence reveal a truth darker than infidelity. One man's fight for justice collides with his wife's secret life, leading to choices that can never be undone. Broken heart betrayal doesn't always scream. It waits in silence until the truth can't be ignored. Backhand index pointing right, watch until the end to see how this heartbreaking cheating story unfolds. Key topics covered. Cheating wife caught with another man. Husband discovers shocking truth. Infidelity, betrayal, and silence. Emotional cheating stories with real lessons. Trust, love, and the cost of lies.